Alright, we're about to finish up this web page assignment. This is what we have so far. Alright, so the last parts of this is we have to go ahead and put a... So after our list is over, I'll get some real estate back, and our horizontal rule, the next thing I'm going to do is put a picture on the page. So the first, I need to go ahead and get a picture. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Internet Explorer, and sure enough I found a picture of Tom Brady and his beautiful wife. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use this picture right here. I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to save picture as. Right, I'm going to put it on the USB drive. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I need to have the picture exactly where the web page is. So if the web page is on the USB drive, and that's why I recommend that you do your web page assignment on a USB drive, to remind you of putting it where it needs to be. I'm going to make this simple and call it PICT for picture and leave the .jpg. Do not change this last one. If yours says PNG or it says GIF, just leave that the way it is, because if I change that it won't display. Alright, there's nothing in the directory because the only thing here is my web page assignment and it's not a picture. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save pic.jpg. Alright, so now I have it in permanent storage. If I want to take a look at it, I can see there it is right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have to add a tag to display it. So we're going to start with IMG space, that stands for image, SRC stands for source, and that's going to be equal to, and then the name of the picture, and I use PICT.jpg. That's why if you're using, if you downloaded a Facebook picture, it's going to make it like 85 letters and numbers, and you don't want to have that. So just rename it to something that makes sense, something nice and small like this, all lowercase, no spaces. Life will be good. If you have a space in there, that could cause problems, so all lowercase, no spaces means you don't have a problem with that. Now the other thing we want to do is we want to make sure that this looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little box for it. We're going to say, okay, well, the width of this box for the picture is going to be 300 pixels. And then I also wanted to have a display in a block methodology. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to say is that the margin is 0. I don't want a margin on there. You can play around with that if you want. And it's going to automatically resize the picture. And I'm going to end that. And then I'm going to put a quote at the very end. All right, so where am I missing? It says, so this has to start with style. Sorry about that. Equals. And this is the style we want to use. So it starts with a quote, and inside the quotes is the styles we want to go ahead and use for that. We could have created this style up on the top here, but there is no default style. So we'd have to create a new one, and I don't want you to have to create new styles. All we want you to do is change for styles we already have. So this will work here, but it's the same kind of process. This is the width. It's going to be a block display, and it's not going to have a margin, and it's going to resize for me. All right, so then I just go ahead and do File and Save. Go back to my web page. Whoops, that's not my web page. Go back to my web page, hit refresh. Sweet, and there is Tom Brady in all his glory. All right, with his beautiful wife Giselle. All right, so okay, that being done, the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and move this down. And put 2 hyperlinks in it. Whoops, not there. Alright, so there's my horizontal rule. There's that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put a paragraph tag in. And then I'm going to put 2 links. Okay, the first link is going to be, this just has 1 link. Oh, I guess I only want you to do 1 link from now on. Alright, so this is going to be a link to a website. So I'm going to say href. That stands, it's an anchor tag, that's why the A is there. href stands for hypertext reference. And the hypertext reference we want to use is http:// and then your website. So I'm just going to put www.tridenttech.edu. Then close that quote. And then close the tag. So the first part of the tag is where do we want to send the person. Then the next part of the tag is what do we want to display. And I'm going to put it in here, my college. And then the third part of it is closing the anchor tag. And that's with a /A. So this A here started the anchor tag. This said what the anchor tag was, and that has a link to a web page. And then my college is the text that's going to display on the screen, and then anchor tag. And then I'll do file and save. And then I'll go back to my web page. And I'll refresh. Then I'll scroll down. And there is my college. So if I click on this now, it'll send me to the Trident Tech website. Nice. All right, so now we know that it's all working perfectly. And now you're ready to go ahead and submit your assignment. I mean, it's not really that difficult. I just want you to make this about you. So again, I want to see a title, a heading, a paragraph about you, not just a sentence. It can be a paragraph. Your favorite something or other, or a list of something. I don't care what kind of list it is. Just something about you or your family. Horizontal rule, a picture of you, your family, your dog, your cat, whatever. And then the last thing is a hyperlink to a website. Just don't make it Trident Tech, and don't make it to CNET like the instructions. There must be some website in the world of all the trillions out there that you'll enjoy. And then submit it and get your A. Make sure when you do submit it, though, that you not only submit this page here, which is the website page, but also the picture file that goes along with it. And then I won't be able to see the picture. If the picture doesn't show up, there's several things that can go wrong, and let me just go over with them. First of all, this picture is not here. It's in pictures somewhere else, and so that's why it has to be in the same directory as the website page. So that's the first thing to go wrong. Second thing is you misspell it. So in our code, it has to be very precise, pict.jpg. If you call it picture instead of pict, or some other, call it GIF instead of JPEG, then it's not going to work because it's not the same file name. So those are the two things that usually it's not in the same place, or that the page it's not. The other thing that's fairly typical, instead of IMG SRC, people put it IMG SCR for some reason. They get dyslexic and switch it around the letters. Just make sure it's source, SRC for source. All right, well that's it. That's the web page assignment. I hope you enjoyed it, and on to the next lesson.